play of Getting Through from the new EP, the Unexplained EP by EMF, which we've talked about on the show and never played so far. We do a lot of this on the show, and Zach and Mark are here. We do a lot of this. We talk about things and can't play them because we get far too excited before we actually get to hear them. We're going to play the whole EP, 4 tracks tonight on the show. It's been a while, actually, since... in fact, Ian came in last time. I think we spoke to you on the phone.
No, Zach on the phone.
I spoke to
the Pet Shop Boys on the phone. That's
oh, well, yeah, you spoke to them. Anyway, so we spoke to somebody on the phone, and then Ian came in, and since then you have been almost non-stop sort of travelling for 18 months virtually.
Yeah.
Are you different people now? Are you older and wiser?
We're worldly wise. We've just changed in that sort
Worldly wise, yeah. We resemble the Rolling Stones a lot more now from touring, yeah.
Do you understand why people sort of now, or why people have always said that touring drives you barking mad? I mean, have you had those moments?
Yeah, we've had a few moments when we've been barking mad, actually, haven't we? Yeah.
I think you probably were before you started, actually, the truth be told. But
yeah, it's got worse now. We get so we can't move now, don't we, Jack?
Yeah, we can move. Let's go so much we can't move.
Where were the most exciting places that you visited? I mean, you mentioned Rio, I think, just before we started this chat, and that sounds like the sort of place that, you know, I would imagine you'd like to go.
Yeah, everybody says, like, you must go to Rio on holiday, and we went there and it rained the whole time over there.
Yeah, it rained. It was just the wrong time of year. Japan had been really cool if it had been at the right time of the year. It was just at the end of the tour and we were really tired, so we couldn't take it in. But Australia was really exciting as well, sort of. And, you know, though every part of travelling we did last year was just a new experience to us.
Yeah.
And we got very fond of America, I think.
You are fond of America?
But we became very fond of certain places in America. I was very fond of Chicago and certain places in the West Coast. Morris likes Dallas for some reason. I don't know.
It's probably young women in certain areas are probably part of the reason, aren't they?
No, the Stetsons and
the spurs and those chaps they wear on their legs.
Yeah, lovely.
Beastmasters.
So, are there any good examples of tour madness then?
There's a lot of things about touring that were quite mad, weren't there? Like some of the late night, all the parties and that were mad, and you know, the pop stars that turn up.
So you're not tired of this yet, then?
Yeah, but people got irate, I think. What do you mean tour managers? Halfway through the tour, didn't we get irate sort of on that 6-week tour? And I remember Tony did it, especially, who's our tour manager. Yeah. It was sort of like 7 weeks. It was a 7-week stint of that one, and like 3.5 weeks into it, everyone was a bit niggly with each other. You know, it's kind of like, you know, everyone was approaching their menopause, which is
like 20 years too early.
Yeah. And we were just like niggling, and eventually it sort of petered out towards the end, and it's kind of, oh, we're going home nice again. Okay, you get on your board, you go on tour again.
See, it's very interesting to see how you obviously enjoy what you're doing, but when you start a band, like I imagine you did before Unbelievable and all that sort of thing, you're doing it because it's like real fun. But there must have been moments over the last sort of 2 years where it became a job.
But it kind of is, and it was a job. I mean, because we do have fun, but I mean, there's a lot of people very serious as well.
Yeah, I think there's too many people who take it seriously all the time, isn't there? I think if you don't have a laugh with it, then you're going to die in it, you know? So we have a lot of fun, so...
Let's play another song from the Unexplained EP. In fact, this is the first track on the B-side of the single, which is Far From Me. Now, this is rather different from Getting Through, which we just played. It's more like a sort of traditional EMF song, so I would imagine this is one that's been around for a long time, is it?
It was the second... Well, Getting Through was the first one that we wrote, wasn't it? Was it?
Yeah, and it kind of...
so long ago, wasn't it?
I don't know. They have been around for a while. Both of those tracks have been around for a while. We played them on that American tour we talked about earlier.
But they're cracking songs live. They go down really well.
It's from the new EP by EMF, and Zach and Mark are here. Now, we were talking briefly about touring. I think we've covered most of that. Writing, of course, is something that is quite difficult to do when you're touring, unless you're extremely clever.
Or extreme. Yeah. But then you sit in the back of the bus with an acoustic guitar, which
I'd sit on your sort of drum riser
and write songs about touring and stuff. That's not really the way to go. In fact, that song we just played, The Same, is... Jeff Smith and I, the producer, were talking, and we were saying this is the direction in which we would imagine that you would be going.
There are a lot of tracks like that in the new set, and there's
on the EP. They're all fair representation of the direction we're going. I suppose you notice they are much harder. That's a kind of...
Why do you want to be much harder? I mean, wasn't Unbelievable quite tough anyway?
But it kind of just develops in that direction. You know, we tend to record nowadays much for, I mean, A Million and One Bands do it, like on our early album, we tend to record it, a lot of it's comped and more chunked together like a jigsaw, if you like. But now we prefer to do it much more live, like Mark would go in the studio and put in a drum track in one take, you know. And it's just recorded much more live, and we prefer that feel, and that's how that EP is done, and that's how the album
is that because you've got better at playing live, and so you can do things better?
Yeah, as well, you know.
Yeah, we got the eye of it.
I can play a bit now.
But you've done so much touring that you must appreciate, I suppose, it feels good when you can go out and within a sort of 90-minute set really impress people, and it must become, therefore, much more tiresome if a record producer was to ask you to lay down a drum part or a, you know, whatever, so many times that you didn't know what was good. You know, very often people do that, and then they use the first take, which was done 2 weeks ago.
Exactly what happens, yeah. Yeah, you go back in and do another take, and they say, oh, I used the first one, there's a better vibe on it, you know. They can hear you coughing in the background as you're playing it, because it was so good. You know?
We tend to do that now anyway. We just take the first take and just say...
It doesn't matter, though, does it? Really, I mean, some of the best records ever were not sort of technically perfect. They were, you know, a bit dirty.
Sense of it, yeah.
Where are you doing all this writing for the new album, and where did you record this new EP? Was it all done in this country?
Yeah. We wouldn't give you the exact address.
No,
we're at home in Gloucester doing.
And you're still writing, are you? I mean, are you approaching this like it's something that has to be done now? Do you have to get a new album out this year?
We don't have to. We're going to. I mean, as soon as we get we're going to sort of lay it down. You know, we do half of it in our own area and half of it in London. Recording, that is, and I think we mix in London. We're just going to have to get done with something we want to do.
Deadline's the worst thing, isn't it? You know, it's like they say you've got a couple of months or whatever, so you come back off the road and then you've got to start recording, writing. Huh?
Is there a deadline?
Yeah, there is a deadline. Yeah.
The thing is, though, a lot of people have to have deadlines because otherwise you could just spend you could be like Dire Straits and spend 4 years making an album.
Yeah, and then at the end of it, it costs a stupid amount of money. You shouldn't do it like that, you know.
You've achieved such a great deal in a short space of time. You must be aware of the sort of fashion element in music is going to be against you this time round. The kids that liked you because you looked like you did, as much as how you sounded.
Yeah.
I mean, the records were good records. I think if people who deny that don't know what they're talking about. But there was also a big, huge swell of popularity because of how you looked. Is that something that you're prepared to completely shrug off and just disregard with the next few releases?
Well, yeah, it's up to them, basically. Yeah, if they don't like the way we, you know, because we look like Steptoe and Son now, you know, it's up to them, basically.
From years touring.
Yeah, it's like other countries don't take any notice of what you're wearing half the time. They're more into what your album's about, you know, and, you know, they respect you more for your good songs rather than the Maker trainers you've got on, which is the worst thing about England, really.
Yeah, Mark's right. That sort of thing happened in America. That people were much more interested in kind of a great record, but they sincerely meant it. A lot of the people who said it, you know,
Are you sure they sincerely meant it?
Well, I mean,
were the people who said that working for your record company?
Well, okay, they were bought it. No, a couple of them, okay. Because there's a lot of people, they do like sincerely much more get into a gig. You know, you get people jumping them down, landing on their heads and stuff. As long as they don't get hurt, it's cool.
You covered a Cream song on the B-side of what?
Children.
Yeah, that's right. So another cover then on this EP. Is this just a way of? It's not a way of filling up the EP. Is it a way of sort of striking your references so people understand where you're coming from?
No, it's a way of filling up the EP. No. It was a song we liked, wasn't it?
Yeah. James is a big fan of Iggy Pop, you see, and he's got like a big collection of Iggy stuff. So he just picked it out.
Because quite a lot of people now do, you know, sort of like Carter always put one cover on their releases.
Yeah, I think we're going to cover Ernie, Fastest Milkman in the West. I think that's going to be another
That would be a real neat trick, actually.
Yeah, we're going to do a thrash metal version of that.
I can hear it. I think it would do well. Okay, we'll play Search and Destroy. Zach and Mark, thank you.